Welcome to the Jewelry Resellers Podcast, your go-to source for all things shiny, sparkly, and of course, profitable. I'm your host, Desiree, and I'll be your guide on this dazzling journey through the world of reselling jewelry. We'll be diving deep into the art and science of reselling, uncovering valuable tips, insider secrets, and sharing stories from successful jewelry resellers. We'll explore market trends, industry news, and even discuss how to find those hidden gems just waiting to be discovered in thrift stores, estate sales, and beyond. So if you're dreaming of turning your hobby into a hustle, or if you're a seasoned pro looking to stay at the top of your jewelry reselling game, join me each week for insights, stories, and more on the Jewelry Resellers Podcast. Okay, welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we've got some news that just came out, and I wanted to share it with you because I love to share news and information and updates as it relates to jewelry and the jewelry industry. And today we're going to be talking about Pandora. Now, this announcement came out yesterday via Reuters, and the article is titled, "World's Biggest Jeweler, Pandora, Stops Using Mined Silver and Gold." So I do have the article right in front of me, and we are going to go over it together. And then we're going to discuss what this means and what are our thoughts and opinions on exactly what it is that they're doing now. All right, so this came out of London on January 29th via Reuters, like I said. And the press, I guess it's a press release maybe. It says Pandora, the world's largest jeweler by amount of products sold. All right, so they are ranking as the world's largest jeweler by units sold. They're not saying by dollar amount, but just by the number of pieces that are sold. All right, so Pandora has stopped using mined silver and gold and now only manufactures with recycled precious metals, which require less energy to produce. Says the Danish company, known for its $65 to $95 charm bracelets, buys around 340 tons of silver and about 1 ton of gold every year. Its supply chain generated over 264,000 tons of CO2 in 2022. All right, so this is definitely something we need to pay attention to as it relates to the environment, and I know a lot of people are concerned about these types of things. So it goes on to say using recycled instead of newly mined metals cuts Pandora's indirect CO2 emissions by around 58,000 tons annually. And this is coming direct from Pandora. Recycled metal supply chains pose risks as stolen gold can be sold as scrap to be recycled, and it is difficult to prove the origin of metals once melted down. All right, so to mitigate these risks, Pandora uses a chain of custody standard developed by the Responsible Jewelry Council, also known as the RJC. That standard, for example, excludes gold coins and gold bars as a source of recycled gold. Pandora, which said it reached 100% recycled silver and gold in December, is investing around $10 million a year into the switch, a cost that it will absorb rather than pass on to consumers through price hikes. Okay, so that's good news. Now, the spokesperson for Pandora says we pay a premium for recycled because we also need to help our suppliers make these transitions. All right, and then it says Pandora declined to provide specifics on what this premium amount is. Pandora also requires its suppliers to be assessed against the RJC standard by independent auditors, including documenting the source of recycled silver. Okay. Continuing on, it says Pandora, which sold 103 million pieces of jewelry in 2022. So their numbers are not quite in for 2023 yet, but in 2022, they sold 103 million pieces. Now, the Pandora produces jewelry in 2 factories in Thailand, and they are building a third one in Vietnam. Rivals like Monica, Vinedar, and Missoma also advertise their use of 100% recycled silver and gold. Okay, now there's more in the article that talks about how metal refineries are recycling silver from things like x-rays and electronic equipment. I did do a podcast episode explaining that process. So if you want to go back in the archives and check it out, I do have a dedicated episode specifically on that. Now, that's pretty much the gist of the article. And I want to talk about, what does this mean for us as resellers? What does this mean for us when we think about the resale value of jewelry that is using recycled silver? Will this have the same draw? Will this have the same demand as the non-recycled silver and gold jewelry that is out there? Now, I have never really been a huge fan of reselling Pandora pieces, only because, number one, it's really, really saturated. And number two, Pandora is a very highly faked brand. You can find so much fake Pandora on sites like eBay and even on Mercari. So I've always been really careful, and I've always shied away from sourcing Pandora. I mean, if I get it in a bulk lot, that's fine. But if I see Pandora charms or bracelets when I'm out and about, I usually do not pick them up. Now, I have bought Pandora years ago for myself, and I really enjoy it. You know, I thought it was a very fun piece of jewelry, although I don't wear it so much anymore. I've actually since sold it, and I no longer wear that particular brand of jewelry. But I know there's still a lot of dedicated fans and customers out there who really love the brand. And it's very popular, especially among the younger generation. But I know it's not only for younger people. There are people 40 plus who still love to wear Pandora jewelry. But like I said, the only thing I think about is, what is the resale value for Pandora now that we know they're going to be using recycled silver and gold? Because remember, a lot of people do buy jewelry as investments, right? Or they buy jewelry that they plan to keep in their family for as long as possible, you know, passing it down from generation to generation. And usually when people are looking for gold or silver as an investment, they want it to be as pure as possible. Now, I don't know how this really compares if you are trying to melt down recycled precious metal versus non-recycled precious metal. Is it still the same price? Is this something that lasts, I guess, as long as non-recycled precious metal pieces do? But from what I've seen, I don't really see a whole lot of people specifically buying jewelry for that particular reason. Most people will buy a piece of jewelry because they like it or they're attracted to it. Not a whole lot of people are specifically purchasing jewelry that is 100% recycled. Now, I'm not going to say it's not a selling point in some aspects, but most people buy what they love or what they think the person they're buying for will love, or something that they've just been attracted to for years, in this case Pandora jewelry. Now, I know Pandora has done a lot of collaborations with various brands. I think they did a Disney collaboration not too long ago. Maybe they still have that going on. I think that was when I bought some charms. I bought them at Disneyland many years back. So Pandora, definitely has a loyal consumer base, and they have a really good reputation as it relates to buying their jewelry pieces brand new. But like I said, I'm not sure how this is going to affect resale value of the pieces, or if these are still going to be as in demand going forward. Now, again, Pandora probably will still sell just as many pieces this coming year as they have in years past. Like I said, the numbers are not in yet for 2023. But I'm wondering if this is also going to be something that, that kind of really sets the standard, because with Pandora being the largest jeweler, again, and this is by the number of products sold, they're definitely going to create a new standard as it relates to using recycled precious metals. This is all of their jewelry now has stopped being made with mined silver and gold. So this is something definitely that we have to think about, something that we have to consider. Especially now we know if we see new Pandora pieces, they probably will be mined, or no, they will be recycled. And depending on how old the piece is, maybe the older pieces could rise in value as it relates to resale, because some people will want the original, construction as it relates to the Pandora jewelry pieces. So this will be something to definitely keep an eye on and to pay attention to as we're moving forward. But let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think this will make Pandora jewelry pieces even more popular? Do you think there will be no change, as customers don't care? They just love the brand and they will buy it regardless of what it's made of? Or do you think this will create a demand for the older pieces that are made with pure silver and gold? I would love to know your thoughts. Now, I will have a link to this article in the show notes, also on the website, jewelryresellerspodcast.com. And that's going to be it for this episode. Remember, I always like to bring you breaking news and updates as it relates to anything in the jewelry industry or anything jewelry related. So I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will check in with you again really soon.